Bronny James and Shareef O'Neal, two names that probably sound familiar to many basketball fans. How could they not, despite still being kids when they're more famous than many actual NBA players? But not all NBA players' kids have such high public profiles. You probably don't even know that some of them exist. Well, that's going to change today, because we're bringing you 10 NBA players you probably didn't know had children. We've got some wholesome stories, a couple of surprises, and even a soap opera plotline or two in store for you. So let's get into it. Tyler Herro. Tyler Herro's career so far has been pretty wild. Despite his lack of experience as a rookie, there was no player he feared and no shot he didn't like. But he played pretty well. Unfortunately, Herro checked nearly every box in the immature young player starter pack. Excessive clubbing, dating Instagram models. You get the picture. And Tyler gets a pretty bad sophomore season. Prior to his third season, however, he made a promise that we would see a much better version of him. Yeah, it's a song and dance we've heard a million times before from players after a bad stretch, but looks like Herro was for real. What many people don't know is the key reason behind Herro's year 3 breakout. Earlier this year, his girlfriend gave birth to a baby girl named Zaya, and Herro says being a father has made him much more mature and focused. His daughter is also an additional source of motivation for him. With the way Herro and the rest of the squad are playing, it looks like Zaya will be able to watch her dad play deep into the playoffs this year. Kyrie Irving. If we can include the rumors of Lamelo this video, we can also put in the NBA's most famous spectator for the season. Despite his Ben Simmons level of contribution to the Nets this season, Kyrie's stories have absolutely dominated the NBA media space this year, and some of his more questionable statements, which is most of them, have even earned him the attention of non-basketball fans. With that kind of media profile, it's almost incredible that many people don't know about his children. Yep, plural, Kyrie has 2 kids with 2 different women. His now ex-girlfriend gave birth to his daughter, Azuri Elizabeth Irving, back in 2015. This makes Azuri old enough to understand her dad when he says the earth is flat. Azuri's middle name, Elizabeth, was the name of Kyrie's late mother, Elizabeth Irving. His current partner, Marlene Wilkinson, gave birth to their son, Kyrie's second child, in June of this year. While being more publicly announced than the birth of his first child, this information still managed to fly under the radar of most people. Jason Tatum. If you've been around any Celtics fans in the last couple of years, they've probably talked your ear off about how young and good Jason Tatum is. Credit where it's due. He's just 23 with a couple of All-Star appearances under his belt. You might be surprised to learn that Jason is a dad, and you might be even more surprised to learn that his son is already 4 years old. Yeah, your math's good. Tatum became a dad of a baby boy named Jason Tatum Jr. when he was just 19 years old. In fact, he became a dad just a few weeks after his first ever game in the NBA. The mother of his son, whom he affectionately refers to as Deuce, is his now ex-girlfriend Toria Lachelle. Tatum has fully dedicated himself to raising Deuce, and his parents sometimes help watch Deuce while dad's away doing NBA stuff. Since Deuce is now a bit older, you can sometimes see him watching his dad play from the front row, and you can even see Jason and Deuce sharing some moments on the court before home games. Lamelo Ball. This one has us entering TMZ territory because it's a rumor based off of some Instagram stories, but it's in the spirit of the video, so we're going to include it. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past couple of years, you probably know all about the Ball family. Even if you were living under a rock, LeVar Ball would probably still find a way to let you know that his boys will be playing in the NBA. While scoring 15.7 points per game in his rookie year, LaMelo apparently had plenty of energy to score off the court as well, since there's a pretty long list of women he's been rumored to date. One of them is an Instagram model named Anna Montana. She's 12 years older than LaMelo, so when she started posting pictures with LaMelo, it got everyone believing that the two were dating. When she posted a story that said, "In love with the human I haven't met," NBA Twitter went ballistic because many fans immediately interpreted the story as her being pregnant with LaMelo's baby. Many of LaMelo fans were scared by the rumor because of what Hornets teammate PJ Washington recently went through with the mother of his baby. In short, he learned what happens when you think with the head below your waist instead of the one above. We don't know yet whether there's truth to the LaMelo rumors, but if there is, he won't be able to hide the truth for long. Ja Morant. A new challenger approaches for the title of NBA's youngest dad. Morant became a dad at the age of 19, and his daughter, Kari Jaden Morant, was born a couple of weeks before he ever stepped onto an NBA court. Just like Tatum, Morant is no longer with his baby mama. The two don't even follow each other on Instagram anymore. So you could say that the breakup is about as definitive as it gets, in Zoomer terms. Morant's play and impact on the Grizzlies shows a level of maturity far above his age. You can't help but think that the responsibilities of fatherhood have played a part in Morant's rapid development. Russell Westbrook. The triple-double man himself. With the amount of stories about his supposed stat padding, his responsibility for the downfall of every team he's ever been on, or about how other NBA stars see him, you'd think there's no detail of Westbrook's life that the media hasn't gone over with a fine-tooth comb. While there have been plenty of basketball-related controversies surrounding Westbrook, his family life is pretty calm. He and his wife, Nina, have 3 children, twin daughters named Jordan and Sky, and a son named Noah. We all know how much energy Westbrook plays with, and he claims his son has his energy because he almost never takes naps. The similarities don't end there. Noah looks like a carbon copy of his dad, and that one picture even has him looking like he just dunked on 2 other babies. The apple sure didn't fall far from the tree in this case. Kawhi Leonard. The list of things we know about Kawhi Leonard's private life is about as long as the list of Toronto's playoff successes before LeBron James left the Eastern Conference. Total privacy is pretty much what we've come to expect from the fun guy. Revelation number 1. Kawhi has a girlfriend named Kishley Shipley. Revelation number 2. He has 2 children with her, a girl named Kalia and a son. There's no name for the son because Kawhi has done a very good job at keeping that information secret. We just know that he was born in Canada. Little Kalia seems to share Dad's calmness as she slept right through the Raptors' 2019 championship parade despite all the chaos around her. Knowing just how eager Kawhi is to talk to the media about his public life, that might be all we know about his kids for a very long time. Paul George. PG-13 story has all the makings of a soap opera classic. He met his now wife Daniela in 2013 at a strip club she used to perform at. The two quickly got into an affair which ended Paul's existing relationship with Doc Rivers' daughter once it got out. Daniela got pregnant and that's where the plot thickens. George allegedly offered her $1 million to abort the child, but she refused the money. She filed a paternity suit where George was proven to be the father, and he responded by filing for full custody of their daughter Olivia. The pair reached a joint custody settlement. Daniela moved to New York and let George be closer to Olivia, and that was supposed to be the end of it. Except it wasn't. George and Daniela got back together and announced that they were expecting a second child. Their second daughter, Natasha, was born in 2017. The two were married earlier this year and seemed to be a happy family. With threes being all the rage in the modern NBA, PG and Daniela recently had a third child, this time a son, named Paul Vuk George. Honorable mention, Zion Williamson. I can't blame you if this one caught you off guard. But no, Zion doesn't have a kid yet. So why is he even in this video? Well, it's because he already took part in what is arguably the cringiest thing expecting parents do, a gender reveal event. Back in his college days, one of Duke's staffers and his wife were expecting a baby, and they got Zion to help them with the gender reveal. Zion obliged and threw down a dunk that showered blue confetti on the court. You can judge for yourself whether getting a future NBA star to do your gender reveal makes it any less cringe. DeMarcus Cousins. With the way he played and acted for a good part of his career, you'd think DeMarcus Cousins had the maturity of a child rather than actual children. Despite his dominance and obvious skill, he'd always find a way to get himself ejected from the game, or at the very least earn a technical. A couple of devastating injuries has caused him to fade out of the spotlight, but everything we've heard from him in the last couple of years indicates that Cousins has significantly matured. The birth of his 2 children, Amir and Vanna, probably had something to do with that, as did him marrying his longtime girlfriend, Morgan Lang. He's still trying to work his way back into the NBA, so we'll have to be patient for a bit longer to see if the NBA's king of technicals has truly given up the throne. Joel Embiid. If Joel's sometimes childish demeanor had you wondering if he's a guy who's truly ready to have kids, you're probably the only one. JoJo was never above some immature behavior or petty trash talk, but the dude's an absolute beast on the court, so you gotta let some things slide. Immaturity is something Embiid will have to reserve for Instagram beefs going forward since he's been a father for just over a year now. In September of 2015, his girlfriend Anna DePaula gave birth to a baby boy they named, and get ready for this, Arthur Elijah DePaula Embiid. The name Arthur is a nod to Embiid's late brother who died when he was just 13 years old, mere months after Joel was drafted to the NBA. That's it for our list. Which topic would you like to see us cover next? Feel free to let us know in the comments below. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. We'll see you next time on NBA Zone. Thanks for watching.